Man, oh man, oh man,
That was
oh man.
Crazy town.
This was kind of cruel.
It's your fault. You put these together. Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we are back with another double-blind head-to-head, which means we have no clue what is in either one of these glasses, but this matchup has been drawn at random from our blind head-to-head sample pool, which is a collection of bourbon and rye matchups that have been paired up for one reason or another. We taste this way so that you get the most honest opinions possible, and we remove all the bias from the labels, the hype, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you like that style of content, give us a thumbs up, like the video, and think about subscribing because we do it every week over here. Let's get into the nose on glass one.
Let's do it. This smells good, but I'm getting like a classic pool floaty vibe. That being said, it smells good.
Oh,
I
man.
don't just like that smell.
Yeah, you put it in my head. This to me, it has some classic bourbon notes to it on the smell. Everything is really faint.
Like a caramel pool floaty.
Everything is really faint, and it honestly, to me, sometimes you just say things smell like the outside. And what you mean by that is like if I'm outside and come inside and hug you.
The smell that you bring in.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like, you know, it could be kind of like mildly sweet, mildly earthy, kind of just generally, you know.
Outside.
Yeah, it smells like the outside.
You know that smell.
And that's what this smells like to me.
I agree.
Not a lot else. Nothing standing out for sure. Let's go ahead and get this on the palate.
I feel like everything we said on the nose transfers over to the palate.
Yeah, I mean, whatever this is isn't bad, but it is largely unremarkable in the landscape of bourbon. And it tastes like bourbon. And that's not a knock either. You know, it's very pleasant. There's nothing off-putting in the glass.
But there's also nothing that makes it stand out. Oops.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, this would be something that I would sip if I were watching a football game or something, and I just needed something to disappear in the background, and I wanted it to be generally sweet, generally easy sipping. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this.
It's a little drying as well, yeah. If you take a second sip, it kind of becomes less sweet and more drying, which I don't love, but yeah, this is fine. This is good whiskey, not remarkable, not horrible either though.
Yeah, I'm getting a little more oak on the second sip. It's definitely in the category of, it seems to be bourbon, and in that category of bourbon, you're getting the caramel sweetness, vanilla sweetness, some oak in there, and not a lot else. Like, you know, it's pleasant. It seems to be blended well.
It's not blowing me away.
Yeah,
it's not blowing my skirt off, as you say. Is that what you say? My hair back. It's not blowing my hair back. That's what you say.
Yeah, I don't say things do or don't blow my skirt off.
You would.
For the record.
You would, though. It doesn't blow my hair back.
That's fair, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into glass 2 on the nose and see how it compares. Glass 1, not bad. Not remarkable.
Not great, not bad.
Yeah.
Just okay.
Good solid pour. Hopefully it's not too much money. Let's get into glass 2.
Glass 2 smells sweeter. You all right?
Yeah, I went a little deep and got a little bit of ethanol fumes. I just think it's because I was searching for something in the glass. Because I wasn't getting all that much out of this one either.
Okay, well, I had got something.
Go ahead.
It's sweeter on the nose than glass 1, and it has a little more of a butterscotch nose to it.
Yep. Yeah, a little bit more pronounced, like caramel butterscotchy type of note, and it is a little bit sweeter. Smells a little richer, but again, this makes it sound like this is an awesome glass. It's also very faint. In comparison
to glass 1, this is sweeter smelling, richer smelling, but on its own, it's not a rich smelling bourbon.
It's still like a background pour that I would enjoy during a game or something like that.
Want to taste it?
Let's go.
Oh, I like this flavor. It's a little thin on the palate. It dissipates pretty quickly, which is disappointing. But initially, the flavor that I got was pretty good. It was caramel, kind of butterscotch, slightly sweet. But then as soon as you get that, it's gone.
It's thin. It's real thin.
Which is kind of sad because the flavor is nice.
Yeah, I think the flavor is a little darker. Like I could even say that this has a little bit of like roasted coffee bean on it.
Interesting.
Like it has that type of, there's a dark element in here, but it is thinner than glass 1. It doesn't have the body that glass 1 has for being low proof. This is it tastes
we think it's low proof. We don't know.
It tastes like something that has been watered down. There's a thinness that comes with that. And again, if you like something that is really easy sipping, just kind of disappears in the background, this would be good, or to enjoy during a game or a movie or something, if you just wanted it to kind of just fall back and you didn't want to really pay attention to it. Yeah, I mean, it seems Good enough. You have anything else to say? I need another sip.
Yes. I took a second sip, and I will say on the second sip, I got sort of a lingering spice on the finish. Very subtle, but definitely there, which I kind of liked that. It didn't get drying on the second sip like the first one did. It got a little more spicy, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, man, that really does have a butterscotchy type of note on it. If you could take this glass and change absolutely nothing, but give it the body of this glass, like the mouthfeel.
The viscosity.
And not so that it didn't taste so thin, this would be a landslide victory for this glass for me.
Interesting.
But as it stands, I don't really know which one I prefer. They're a little different.
Yeah,
I am getting a little spice on the back end of this one now, like you said. I think you said that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you talk, I don't listen.
That's fair. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You're married for a while. You know how it is. But all right, we're going to spend some time with these.
Yeah.
Clear our palates, start with the second glass, go back to the first, do some A/B comparing. We will be back with our full thoughts, ratings, and all that stuff. Find out the price, see if that changed our rating. Before we find out what we're drinking, see ya in just a second. This is actually really interesting for me.
Oh,
because
do tell.
Because nothing changed. And I'm
Oh.
still left with the dilemma of which one I prefer more. But ladies first,
Okay.
What do you think about these two?
So these are both fine. For me, glass 1 gets just okay, and glass 2 gets thumbs up. I do like it.
So you prefer glass 2?
I do prefer glass 2 to glass 1. Glass 2, while thin, kind of watery, the lingering spice you get with each subsequent sip helps kind of counterbalance that, in my opinion. So this would be something I would have. It would be what I would call a background pour or a porch sipper. It's not something I'm going to reach for if I want to dissect flavors, but if I just want something that's easy to drink while I'm having a conversation with people, this would be a good one. Glass 2.
I think both of these are that. Just generally, like if I were having a conversation, these would kind of just almost taste like nothing.
Yeah. Well,
but just decent, good sweetness.
May I say something?
Yeah.
The reason I picked glass 2, aside from the lingering spice, is kind of more of the caramel like flavoring. Glass 1 got really dry and kind of bitter with each sip for me.
I didn't get that
It
at all.
got very drying for me.
Okay. I will say everything held true to me. The body on glass 1, like it seems like that kind of background whiskey profile, easy sipper, but it has just a really velvety mouthfeel. Like it kind of coats everything really nicely. I'm not trying to prop it up too hot. Velvety might be a little bit of hyperbolic speech here.
Well, this is in comparison to the other one.
Right. This one has that thinness,
It does, yeah.
but it also has a darker profile, more robust. It has the more amplified caramel butterscotch and like a roasted coffee bean note on 2, whereas 1 was just kind of generally bourbony sweet.
Yeah.
I like them both. I'm going to give them both a thumbs up, contingent on price, because I like them both. If I had to pick a preference, honestly, number 2 is... say number 2 is so watery, and then I turned into a 12-year-old kid.
Who
like
does
I've got
number 2 work for?
Glass number 2 is watery. And I just, like, that's something that really bothers me about whiskey sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I like to have a little bit more. So I didn't get any bitter or drying on glass 1. I just really enjoyed it as a kind of generally sweet,
I feel like
good
this
bourbon.
is a rye.
No, I mean, they might be. They absolutely could be, but I don't think they are.
I'm getting rye vibes from 1. I'm not getting rye vibes from 2. But I don't know why we would do a bourbon and a rye.
Well, I mean, again, I'm thumbs up on both.
Yeah.
You're just okay on 1.
Yeah.
Thumbs up on 2. We're going to find out the price and see if that changes our
Okay.
opinions.
Yeah.
I hope both of these are fairly inexpensive.
I do as well.
Like, based on the proof point and the flavor, like $30 to $50. I mean, I really would struggle if they were over that.
Oh, this needs my face.
But we'll find out.
Good.
So, glass number 1 is number 13. You're just okay. I'm thumbs up. What's the price?
$25.
Tastes like it. Happy with that. That's a good summer pour for me.
Yeah.
Glass number 2 price?
$70.
70?
70.
Wow.
That's
Okay. Why is it so watery?
Not the worst I've seen. Like, I'm not shocked, but I'm also like, that's a little bit expensive for what I feel like you're getting. I want to make sure I'm looking at the
If it just wasn't so thin. That's my
Yeah.
biggest issue with glass 2 is it's just so thin. If it even had comparable mouthfeel to glass 1, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So
I
for
will
me,
say the spice note on the back end really helps the thinness.
Yeah, it
After
does.
you've taken a few sips, though, which is kind of
Yeah.
wah-wah.
So for me, the value here is glass 1 for sure. Did your ratings change?
I'm gonna go just okay on glass 2, just because $70 for something that I would call a what I would call a background sipper is a lot of money to pay for something like that. In my classification of whiskey, this might not be that for you. This may be like a really great
lower
one,
proof, easy sipper.
And if that is where that fell within my categorization, then $70.
Why'd you say it that way? That was a weird categorization.
Because I couldn't say it, so I was trying to categorization.
There's like extra syllables in there or something.
Yeah. In my categories, if this was higher in the lineup of drinking, I wouldn't feel bad paying $70 for it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Did I?
I don't know. Let us know in the comments below.
I feel like I was just talking in circles.
Sometimes when we're talking to a camera and we're trying to make sense of things, we just black out and we just say whatever. So it's part of the job, you know? It is what it is.
Difficult. Okay.
All right. To me, glass 1 is staying thumbs up. Glass 2, man, it's good. It's good. For a low proof, if I wanted a good low proof, I got to go just okay. Because, I need to talk about our ratings.
Okay.
Thumbs up means I like it. I would like a bottle of it. I would like a bottle of this for an easy background sipper in the summer or during a game.
Especially knowing the cost.
Or during the fall during a football game or something. Love to have this as a background sipper.
Okay.
Now knowing this is $70, just okay, doesn't mean I don't like it because I do like it. It just means I could take it or leave it, and I may not want to buy a bottle of it.
Yep.
Or if I had a bottle of it, I may not buy an additional bottle of it, which is exactly where this falls for me. There. What are we sipping? Glass number 1 is...
No way.
What is it?
Wild Turkey 101.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is funny.
Get that glass right there.
So we warm up with Wild Turkey 101.
Which is this.
Oh, pull floaty, huh?
Which when we were warming up, we knew we were drinking it.
I don't know if this is a different bottle or not. I actually think it is a different bottle.
I'm just comparing.
Batch variance is a big thing because
it's similar enough.
This one is a caramel bomb. This Wild Turkey 101 bottle that we're warming up with right now is a caramel bomb. It's got a ton of caramel on it. This one
has sweet tea.
More balanced. The warm-up pour?
Mm-hmm.
All right, sweet tea. I can see that. Like an old Lipton's bag or two.
This one's definitely drier. That's weird.
Batch variance is something that doesn't get talked about enough, but hang on. You know what glass 2 is.
I do.
You know what glass 2 is.
Okay.
I'm the only person on earth that doesn't know what glass 2 is right now.
Okay.
What is it?
Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit.
Oh.
And these are both 101 proof. I've heard of Kentucky Spirit. Is that only the gift shop bottle or something? What's the Kentucky Spirit situation?
You guys, we love Aaron, don't we? We love Aaron. Because...
Are you patronizing
No,
me?
I'm not. Because literally like 2 weeks ago, we were at Wild Turkey picking a Russell's Reserve and a Kentucky...
Oh, and a Kentucky Spirit! Okay. It's clicking. I got it.
She just doesn't commit this stuff to memory.
Yeah.
She's got other stuff going on up here that she's got to worry about.
I got all kinds of other stuff that I do in my brain, and whiskey's not in there.
Right. I keep up with the whiskey nerddom for myself and for her. So this is really interesting because I wanted to see, for this matchup, is Kentucky Spirit, a $70 bottle...
It's a lot.
...worth paying? It's basically a single barrel 101. Is it almost 3 times the price better? By the time you add tax, it is really 3 times the price.
I did think it was better than this 101. However, that 101 that we warmed up with tasted different than this 101.
And here's the thing. Every single barrel is going to be different. This is a single barrel that we picked up at a random store in Kentucky that we just so happened to be driving by, and we stopped in, and they had a Kentucky Spirit hanging out. And I was like, man, I haven't seen Kentucky Spirits in Nashville, Tennessee in a really long time. Here's one sitting here. I'll go ahead and grab it. And some of the Kentucky Spirits out there have been amazing. Others are just like a slight variation, which I think we kind of picked up on that. These, I mean, if you ask me, are these from the same distillery? I don't know if I would have said yes, but I would have thought about it long and hard because they do have a lot of similarities to them.
Yeah, however, we were just drinking them and neither of us said anything about thinking that they might be similar.
Man, the butterscotchy caramel forward medium roast coffee bean on 2 is very good. But that particular pick, and we know this, having done a Russell's pick and a Kentucky Spirit pick recently, you're tasting stuff at barrel proof.
And then they have to water it down to 101.
So when we picked our Kentucky Spirit, we picked a barrel for it that had a very fruit-forward flavor profile with a nice oak backbone. And we tried to add some water to it and kind of simulate what it would be at 101 proof, and it all held up very well. And that's what we went for with our pick. But who knows what this store went for with their pick?
Yeah.
You know, it
I'm
shows.
surprised at these results.
It shows how good of a value that just regular old Wild Turkey 101 is. Our control pour over here shows how much batch variation can come into play.
That honestly, I'm more surprised by that than this lineup, because we literally, before filming this video, have a warm-up pour of Wild Turkey 101. Before we film any head-to-head, we have a warm-up pour of Wild Turkey 101. So we just had one, and it tasted completely different than this, which is...
So your batch products, like Wild Turkey 101, can vary just as much as single barrels do.
Yeah.
Which is a big takeaway from this video. And this is something that I have been talking to our Discord community with over on Patreon. Batch variation is so huge in the whiskey market. So if you go to a store and you buy a bottle and you taste it and you really like it, go back to that same store and buy however many bottles you think you need of that product.
That batch.
Because don't think you're going to go back 6 months later or 2 months later or 2 months later and get a bottle and think it's going to be from the same batch and the exact same profile. It is impossible to 100% replicate a flavor profile, even on something as big as Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah, as evidenced today.
Right. So keep that in mind when you're out there shopping.
Yeah.
Hopefully this was an informative and helpful video. If it was, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell down there if you want to join us on a live stream. We live stream once a month if I could get my words out right now.
It's all right. Words are hard today.
Words are hard today. This was a hard head-to-head because you're comparing like high cost versus high value, and that's why we do it blind, right?
That's what we do.
Subscribe already, all right? Come on, we're doing this for you guys, and
we are.
We have a little fun doing it too.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah, that's it for this one.
Be good to each other, and until next time,
Cheers.